I need a video for the other channel. Like maybe Truck Talk or something like that.
Truck Talk.
Where we just talk about,
trucks.
You picked up on the concept right away.
Yeah, I'm proud of myself.
I was looking at, I thought, well, maybe I could look at different recalls or different issues and stuff.
It's hard getting like a lot of recalls on a brand new truck.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, the Takata airbags, that hits everybody pretty much, and why they keep putting them in there. It's like, oh, they're cheap. Yeah, well, other than,
people.
ejecting like a spike through your head when it explodes, seems to be doing its job well. I mean, it seems like for 20 years, I mean, I know it's not been that long, but it feels like 20 years that they have literally had recalls for Takata airbags, lawsuits, deaths.
2 out of 3 of my trucks don't even have airbags. So.
Well, yeah, you've got...
And those 2 also don't really have working seatbelts. One of them doesn't have seatbelts.
Well, it's a 53 Ford,
yeah.
A little predates the old El Seatbeltos.
Yeah.
And, of course, the 91 Dodge, it needs a little work as far as seatbelt goes.
I mean, they're there.
They're there. You just need some, the mechanism's probably wore out, and you just need to replace that. But that's no biggie. What all have you replaced on that 91 Dodge?
Everything in the front and the rear end has been completely rebuilt. The brakes have been rebuilt.
I mean, the guy who you bought it from had done like a ton of work to it.
Yeah.
And then
it has basically a brand new motor in it.
Yeah, and just like every old boy in the backyard gets a truck. Look, I've just went through this thing bumper to bumper, top to bottom, tires, wheels, everything. The motor's even been took apart, put back together. It is flawless. Get it home, what'd you do?
I did everything else to it.
Yeah, lift the hood and redo it again.
I put
on it my way.
It's got a new front end, new rear end. It's got new wheels, new brakes.
A little work done on the windshield wipers.
Yeah.
Oh, there was okay. So here's a silly thing that's happening, and the Dodge guys that I guess we got some Dodge guys here because there's constantly people coming in talking crap about Chevrolet, and GM.
Yeah.
So I imagine those are Dodge guys. And they're probably just irritating, really mad, and I'm busting on you, even though you've got a GM.
I have all the flavors.
You have a GM, you have a Ford, and you do have a Dodge.
Yes.
And I mean, it's amazing. I bet you argue with yourself all the time. But anyway, what I was saying, and don't get me wrong, I love the Rams. That was what I was going to get, and it is what it is. I love the looks of the Rams. But I don't know if you've seen this. Think it was mid-January, maybe, or 1st of January of this year. Ram had a recall on, I think it was the 2500 and the 3500s. And if you go by the shop, okay, if you go by the shop, they will tighten down the windshield wiper nuts. I'm just going to say this, okay? And I'm not busting Ram guys or anything like that. But if you've went out and you own a 2500 or a 3500 Ram truck, and you got to take it to go get...
It is no longer Dodge Ram either. So yeah, and that makes me upset.
I understand, but it's still all the same.
Yeah, I mean, it's all cross.
But here's my thing: I mean, I get it. There's, I guess there's going to be, people out there that, well, there are people out there that just go and buy them to look cool and stuff, you know. And they are cool. But if you've got a 2500 or a 3500 Dodge, I mean, Ram pickup truck, I apologize. Get everybody's panties in a wad here.
Yeah.
But anyway, and you've got to go and you take that thing to the dealership for them to take and tighten 2 little nuts down, sell the truck and get a Prius. Remember when I had to cut the hitch off the back, the ball off the back of my Toyota?
I do, and that saw blade.
I kept telling you, I said, get out of the way, boy. If this baby comes over, she's going to be a little warm.
6 years old.
Yeah, learned a lesson that day, didn't you?
Yeah, like 9,000-degree blade come flying at my head.
It was great, though. It was great. I had a Sawzall, and I'm going to town, and...
Because, Toyota, baby, rust it all, Everything rust on it.
Well, you know what? That Toyota only had a few spots in all those years. And they were notorious.
It was in pretty good shape.
Like, oh, gosh, yeah. I mean, and Caleb, I mean, he's got it looking good, and he's doing a lot to it and stuff, and it'll make him a good truck.
I've seen a lot worse.
Oh, gosh, yeah, man. The early 80s, when they those come out, like, you buy like my Uncle Mike, okay, Brian's dad. So he had an 81 Toyota, and it was, those were just the coolest trucks and stuff. And what I loved about Toyota, well, a lot of the trucks, but Toyota definitely up to 85. It was straight axle. You could lift it to the moon. You could do anything you wanted with the trucks.
And it was cheap.
Yeah, blocks and bolts, man. Yeah. I mean, you could literally like you could wire a lift kit up.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure there's some guys that probably did that with
some like 2x4s and
yeah. It's like, oh, my Uncle Terry's over there working on the truck. Yeah, he smells like bad decisions and natty lights, But the thing of it is it's like by 85, 86, the bed on that truck was already rusting, and by 88, when Dad bought that 88 that I had, that, well, you weren't born yet, but you've seen pictures, I think. I know you've heard myself and your mom talk about that truck. It was excellent. It was a cool truck. Anyway, the bed literally was just, well, that 88, we took it down east. It was bought, my dad bought it to hunt and fish out of. And then I eventually got it from him because he never drove the thing other than hunting season, and then he was always traveling. So, I think and it was kept clean, but now he did live in the mountains, so that was a little harsher on that one. But let's see, that was 88. By 99, okay, 10, 11 years later, if we'd have taken the bed liner out, the sidewalls would have fell off the bed. The frame had rusted in two and been welded back twice.
The thing about the frame is they were square tubing, and water could get in, but it couldn't get back out.
Well, there was a lot of craziness to it, like the 98 Tacoma I had. Ask Tank. I'm sure Tank's told you about the
whenever he stood on the bars and the...
Oh, no, that was a different fire call.
Oh.
That was during a storm, and the big pecan tree was down, and he was standing on my sideboards and stuff, and he stepped out and looks across the truck as I'm getting out of the truck to ask me something. I don't remember what it was, and like all I seen was his head just like do this. I'm going, what is he doing? I thought he was standing in mud sinking, but no, it was literally my whole entire side, my running board that I had on there. The bottom had already rusted out, and that's why now I'll only buy the stainless, but it bent it right in half because of his big ass on it and stuff, and because there's a reason we call him Tank. He was a big boy, and but no, there was a missing person call, and your mom had cooked supper that night, and I think it was spaghetti, and he had rode his motorcycle over and his dirt bike, and he was eating supper with us, and the call come in. They were for mutual aid with one of our neighboring fire departments, actually the fire department that your grandpa was in, and I was too when I was young. But anyway, long story short, we get this call for missing person. They were needing manpower and stuff like that, so we was like, let's roll, and we go outside, and there's like an 8-foot black snake laying up underneath the Toyota, okay? And I look, and Tank's walking around it, and, I'm right below the retaining wall, and I'm like, Tank, don't move for a minute. And he goes, why? And I'm like, look down. And he's like, what is it? And I'm like, and he looks, and all I can say is there was a noise come out of him that was not natural. I learned that apparently he wasn't a fan of snakes. and one of your little garden hose or whatever, little plastic thing, you know, little shovel or something there, it was the only thing nearby. And I don't remember if it was him or me that grabbed it. I think it was him that grabbed it and went to try to just kind of pin, you know, we were going to pin the head down. I was just going to reach down and get it, you know, but he was in kind of a weird but he was under the truck and in a weird position. I wasn't worried about, you know, if he bit me or anything like that, but he was a hoss. I mean, this thing was he was quite a log.
Yeah.
Anyway, it broke, and he went straight up, hit the frame, one of those holes in it, and disappeared on the passenger side.
Oh, I see.
And you know me. I was like, I looked at Tank, and he goes, do they really need to go find that guy that's missing? And I was like, we probably should go. And so we jump in the truck, and I look, and I go, I got to stop and get gas. And he was like, you mean stand beside the truck with a snake in it? And I'm like, I said, does it, I was just messing with him. I was like, you do know that frame has holes here and there, and the bottom of the cab has drain holes that are about this big.
Yeah.
You know, which really,
snakes can get in anything.
Yeah, they're like this. But anyway, long story short, he's freaking out. We go, and it was a little weird pumping gas because I kept looking because I'm thinking, you know, all of a sudden this long, you know, snake was going to come out.
I think it's a hose and you go to grab it.
Yeah, it's
snake.
Like, oh, like in the building over there.
Yeah.
That sucked. I thought that was a piece of black PVC pipe, and when I picked it up, she weren't quite as rigid as it should have been. But anyway, lots of stories we could tell with trucks and memories, and it's fun, you know. That's what I love about trucks, you know.
They hold stories.
They do hold stories. I mean, cars do too, you know. Muscle cars and stuff like that. And I'd like to kind of do this from time to time where we just sit down and we just chat about trucks and cars and stories and stuff like that. So don't know if you guys would be interested in that, but we're gonna throw it out there to you. Yeah. I don't know if you would consider this like a podcast kind of setup. I don't know.
A discussion.
Yeah, just two knuckleheads sitting here having a random funny stories and stuff. We got plenty of them.
Oh, yeah.
And we love trucks.
Yeah.
We absolutely love trucks. Maybe we should do like an episode where we like go over like our personal top 5 favorite trucks of all time. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Like, I think I know like at least, I mean, I know one of your favorite years is 1953.
Yeah. And
you're fortunate enough to have already gotten a 53 Ford. And 53 Chevrolet is what you want, which was an amazing truck.
Yeah. And
we could do a whole, you know, 53 was the first year Corvette was introduced. Yep. And
I know like 69 is a good year for a lot of muscle cars.
Woo, 69, Lord, 69 and 70, 68 was a good year. 67 was pretty decent, but 69
mid to late 60s was a good years.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Chevrolet's big run, you know, really hot and heavy with some sexy cars, you know, totally got to be, you know, the 50s.
Mm-hmm.
Trucks, I love those 40s and early 50s trucks. But you're right, muscle car, man, it's hard to beat year 69.
Yeah.
But that's for a later episode. Yep.
Yeah.
All right, we're out of here. Thanks for stopping by. I hope you've enjoyed this. We're just trying to find something to throw on this channel that's a little more interesting than, I mean, a lot of guys, you know, you guys are reaching out and stuff on the updates for the truck, but, you know, we can only do so many of those.
Yeah.
And
learn a little bit more about us.
Yeah, learn a little bit more about us, maybe some stories, maybe get a few good laughs, share your stories on here. And, you know, try to keep it, you know, somewhat decent in the comments. I mean, you know, we're going to get some pricks from time to time because, you know.
Yeah.
You know, I've got a Nissan hard body, you know. Okay. I'm not knocking your hard body, you know. I'm not knocking your Ford. I can knock a Ford. I can knock a Chevrolet. I can knock the Chevrolet that I've got out there that's a 2021.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of guys, you know, with the videos that we have out, I don't know, you know.
I mean, I can knock anything, but I've had a lot of it. I mean, at one point in time, I had a PT Cruiser for like a week.
Oh, yeah.
That ended shortly.
Yeah. And you guys just finished doing a motor and putting it in a Chevrolet.
Mm-hmm.
What was it?
maybe a K15. No, I don't know.
You don't even
I don't remember what it was now.
So, but yeah, I think you guys just sold it.
Yep, just sold it. Yep, 4-wheel drive, had a
You know what year
long
model
bed.
it was? Oh, it was
95, I think.
95.
Yeah.
Yep. So, anyway, turning wrenches, man, getting greasy.
Yeah,
You like doing that, don't you?
I do.
Yeah. All right. Well,
Well,
I think we should end this one, guys, gals, everybody that stopped by. Thanks for stopping by, and we will see you next time.